Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Cliff London Uncensored. Of course, I'm Cliff London, and what I want to talk about before I get into some other shit is I just want to get you guys' opinion on something, and that is my experience. I'm going to share my experience with you about this Uber ride that I just got home from because, it's real, it's some fishy stuff here. Okay, so in a nutshell, I've taken the same trip lots of times due to whatever reason. Sometimes I just don't feel like dealing with the train. Maybe I'll do it like once a week, once a month or something like that. And it usually comes out to a little over 20 bucks. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with Uber, the way that it's different from a taxi is that your starting point and your destination, you type that in when you order the Uber and you get a rate to you immediately. So you already know what it's going to cost. So unlike a taxi, they can't pretend and, just drive around and blah, blah, blah. It's, oh, I couldn't find it or whatever. Past couple days, the past 3 days, it's been double that, about 42, 43 bucks. No matter what the time of the trip has been. Meaning, it's the same route. Give or take some traffic, there could be more time, but since it's a lockdown, once you're able to get out of that, out of the ritzy area that Lori Lightfoot is protecting, once you get out of that, then it's a pretty straight shot home. So today my experience was this. The driver couldn't find the way to get out, to get back downtown. I thought I knew the way, but once they have these bridges here in Chicago around the really ritzy area. They're used so that the boats can go through the river walk, but now they've been kind of used as this kind of barricade. But the problem is that they strand all of us quote unquote essential workers downtown. It's hard for us to get out. They have everything blocked off. They don't even have enough police vehicles, so there's like water trucks and salt trucks and shit just blocking the way. Basically, it's a ghost town down there. So Uber's claim of, they said first they tried to tell me that they had that fee hike because it was a high traffic area. Okay, and it was really busy down there. And in order to encourage drivers to go down in that area, that's why they charged a higher price. But I'm like, it's not busy. Now, I could understand the driver's frustration in this thing because things were blocked off. But again, drivers I had last night found a way out. The way my trip ended today was the guy just ended up saying to me, we will try one more place. We'll try one more place. We tried one more way. I've been in the car at this point about 20 minutes. And I just say, look, I look at my phone to see, I started off looking to see if maybe there was an internet where a community knew how do we get out of downtown Chicago once the bridges are up. Didn't find that. But what I did fucking find is early this morning, they said that the red line would be running and I could have got on the train anyway. And at first they told me it would be out, that it'd be shut down till Monday. But there was nothing on the news. There was nothing to say, unless you looked at the CTA tracker. There's nothing that would let you know that the train was actually running. So I had the guy just drop me off at the train station and I took the train home and I am speaking to you now. Now my thing is that now the night before, couple of nights ago, they had upped the trip and it was only about like 30 bucks and I questioned it because my trip was shorter than when I was in the car, when I was with the driver last night. It was actually shorter than what it was, but it cost more money. So the dude credited me, after disputing it, he credited me $8 back, took that back. That just disappeared, and I look at the, my receipts and it's back to what it was. So somehow he gifted me gave me back the adjustment, then decided to take it back. I don't know what that was. And so anyway, I'm on the train and I get this doot, 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 doot on my phone and I look down, $27.97. Now, it's not by mileage like a taxi, right? I mean, those of you, I'm not really sure, but he didn't even take me to my destination. You know what I mean? He didn't even take me to. He just drove around a bit, got frustrated. I gave him an out. I said, "Hey, just drop me at the at the train station. Still charge me. You didn't take me to my destination, and the train station that he dropped me off at was walking distance from my job." So, the conclusion that I have drawn is that Uber is totally charging me looter riot fees. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They are upping the prices. They are making money off these fucking bullshit Black Lives Matter thugs that are terrorizing the streets of Chicago. That is my hypothesis as far as that go. I wouldn't even call it a hypothesis. I've experienced the shit. I'm just gonna say it. Uber is hiking up their prices while this looter riot shit's going on. That is fucked up, especially since they're one of these lame fucking companies that decided to go, Uber stands in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Look how virtuous we are. I'll wash your feet, black person. Fucking losers. Anyway, yeah. So I really think that they are really upping it. And so I asked them the way I got that $8 back there, which I said, hey, are these your looter rioter prices? Because you can sit up there and tell me, oh, it's a high traffic area. And that's bull because there's no traffic. Complete horseshit. Anyway, so you guys let me know if you've had similar Uber experiences in the comment section, or if you work for Uber and you know something more why they do it and if it's legal, or am I fucking right and I totally was getting the fucking looter riot fee? That's the end of that. Let me know in the comments. I want to talk about perhaps the years running number one in the number one idiot of all time is Kim Foxx, State's Attorney of Chicago. She is terrible. I believe I talked about her last night, but now she is saying that she's just innocent and nope, didn't do it. Yeah, totally. That's what's going on in Chicago. But let me talk about some of you that don't know, that just hear that there's fighting here in Chicago. It's even worse and more fucked and more pathetic. So I'm going to give you guys the scoop that don't really know. So the news, I don't know what the news is reporting really, because I read a lot of my shit. But I don't watch the mainstream shit. Not too much. I watch to see what they're saying, but I don't watch it with much of a stake in it. But apparently, the first story of why these morons here were rioting was because the story was that a young child was shot. That turned out not to be true. The real story was that there was a grown-ass man by the age of 25 years old, started shooting at the police. They shot back because they know how to use their guns, and he got hit. But someone lied. Well, he got shot and killed, just, rightfully so. They were just defending themselves. And so, but someone lied and said a child got shot. I'm sure it was one of these thugs that just was like, that just said, oh, young kid got shot. And that's why. And even though they found out that this is not true, some people have found out that this is not true, they still are continuing to be out here rioting and looting, regardless of the truth. Now, these people that sit here and want to talk about, oh, it's just a conspiracy against Black Lives Matter. Oh, they only show black people doing this. It's white people out there too. Stop it. There's very few white people. And I'll tell you this, that whole adage about it's about, it's because poverty. These little shits that are out here shooting each other is because poverty. Oh, well, white people do too. Of course, every race has their good and bad, but we are guilty of fucking, coddling ours. Oh, they didn't have a chance. They grew up. Oh, they just a teenager. You know what? I used to believe that too. But as of today, I'm saying fuck that. Because you know what? My brother and I didn't grow up in the best of conditions. There were gang members around. There was temptations and shit. But you know what? We just weren't those type of people. They say this bullshit about, well, people join a gang, they have father, they're looking for acceptance and blah, blah, blah. Go fuck yourselves in that bullshit ideology, because really what it is about good and evil, and what it's about is about right and wrong. And from a very young age, unless something is wrong with you, no matter what the situation, you understand right from wrong. You understand that it is wrong to roll up on a car with a mother and her 2 children in it and open fire. You know that that's wrong. This bullshit, oh, their brain isn't, all these fucked up pro-blacks make, and people like Kim Fox makes these excuses for these people. No. You have to discard your trash. You don't see white folks, like running around with, if a group of Klan members or if a group of skinheads moved into a white neighborhood. It could be any type of white neighborhood. They could be conservative. They could just be working class. Even if they were annoyed by the whole American black folk plight, they still wouldn't want them motherfuckers in the neighborhood. They still would run them out, just based off principle of like, no, we don't want you motherfuckers here making us look bad and causing us trouble. We are not like you. You were trash. No, thank you. But us as black people, we're trained. If you don't accept whatever this bullshit is, I'm not. If you don't accept whatever bullshit there is and sugarcoat it with some kind of fucking ghetto life story, some kind of bullshit, or they just trying to make and blah, blah, blah. If you don't do that, then that's not being black. And I can say, go fuck yourselves. I don't give a shit what you think on that level, because like I've been saying lately, good and evil. You are an evil thug if you do that. Now, I'm not going to overgeneralize in the fact that I know that there are some good kids that may be in this situation, but hey, if you kill someone, you have to fucking do the time. Unless you're in a state where Kim Fox is, she'll just let you go. That's what, so come here, Kim Fox will just let you go because she's fucking crazy, probably on all kind of meds. Or she's part of the fucking big change they're trying to press on everybody. You let all these thugs out, lower the values of the neighborhood, then swoop in and buy up all the properties and move who they want in. Perhaps maybe they'll move in their new workforce. Black folk, what do you think about that? You know who their new workforce is? I like to be in America. Yeah, them. No, actually not them, because those people in West Side Story were singing about being in America and how happy they were. They weren't trying to come here, work, then retire to Mexico after they fucking gotten their free benefits and siphoned, been a public charge and siphoned everything from us, then go retire in Mexico. That's why I don't buy that crap about how bad it is over there and the poverty and a better life. I don't buy that for a second, because they would stay, but there's a good number of them that just come here illegally because they don't need to. They're not trying to become a citizen. They're just trying to work and send money home. And you're stealing it. They're stealing that job from a possible American that could have that job. Now, it's different when they used to say that shit about, oh, they do all the jobs Americans don't want to do. Yeah, that was about 20 years ago when it was in McDonald's and shit, Oh, now it's other shit. Factories and shit. Because you don't hear that shit anymore. Oh, these are jobs that Americans don't want to do. No. That was bullshit in the first place, because plenty of Americans will do those jobs. They're called teenagers and shit. Plenty of them would do their job. And I think that's part of the problem. You got a lot of these looters and, bitch ass thugs out here that can't knuckle up. That's why they have to use guns. You got a lot of these guys out there. They don't have jobs. They didn't never have to have a job. They don't have jobs to go to. And these dumbass liberals are giving people 600 bones a week, so they're making more money staying at home, and they don't have shit to do. So they got the time to go and tear shit up. So those of us that work pay for them to tear up shit. Uber makes money off of us. with their bullshit thug riot prices. You know, it's just crazy. And this is a city under Lori Lightfoot's rule. So her lesbianism and her radical leftism and her plain being piss poor at her job, none of that shit, take away the piss poor job. The two things she was hired for was the lesbianism and the radical leftism and the whole black issue. None of that made her good at her job. I hope you morons that voted for her learn this lesson. America, it's time to really stick together. Because that Uber thing sparked something and it made me realize something. People keep talking about living in Trump's America and all this stuff, but he's not out there rioting. There's not a group of white folk rolling around terrorizing people, trying to get white folks to move out of their home. They got that dumbass moron. I won't even say her name. But in case you haven't seen it, look up fucking BLM leader says looting is reparations. And you'll see her dumb, stupid head with the stupid fucking braids in it talking about if you want to rob a Gucci store, go ahead and do it because it's reparations because her people ain't getting anything, which is a biggest bunch of shit I've ever heard. How many motherfuckers, she probably on Link and Wick and all that shit. All of that shit. The broad obviously wasn't at a job. She was out there encouraging, destroying property and putting possibly people out of work. You see, the thing is with this movement that I really hate the most of it all, more than just its annoyance, is that it's not helping, it's not healing people. It's making people more resentful of other movements. This means, so when Black Lives Matter, when it's forgotten about or when it's exposed, all that's going to be left behind is a bunch of damage. And we're back at ground zero. After all the property damage and shit that they have done, some businesses won't come back. Some of these people who may have been good, honest, hardworking, white, liberal white folk that just, hey, man, everybody's an American, blah, blah, blah. You may have changed their opinion because their business has been damaged for the second time in 3 months, and now they have to move or sell. You've created, and that person probably may or may not want to hire, because should you be forgiven? Should you still be able to play victim when you're carving your place in the culture? When is enough going to be enough, CBLM? What exactly is it that you want? Do you just, according to that dumbass leader of BLM with the goofy hair and the glasses, looks like Daria. According to her, going to Gucci and looting is reparations. Shit, if that's all you needed for reparations, a couple of pairs of sneakers and a TV, I'm sure they can make that happen for you, you idiots. You see, that woman is not a leader. She is a totally bad example. It's like putting our trash on TV to speak for us. So I'm going to say formally, that broad doesn't speak for me. In fact, none of these people speak for me. Black Lives Matter don't speak for me. I don't need it. Kaepernick, don't speak for me. I don't need it. Those people are just nothing but enemies to peace, and they are trying to destroy this country. And I'm not going to let it happen. And you shouldn't let it happen either. And the only way that we can really, really do that in a non-violent way, even though it's time, for us to, if you can get your weapons, get it, because it's time to start fighting back against Black Lives Matter. Or not fighting back, but more like defending. Keeping it peaceful, like the one, more like defending ourselves. Also, I'll share this with you guys, then I'll get out and start enjoying Friday. Also, look up I guess you could just type in, it's a thing on Facebook called Make Black America great again. And you guys are welcome to follow me on my Facebook page, by the way. It's just under Cliff London. Go ahead and friend me. Just let me know that you're in my Facebook. That you're a YouTube subscriber, and I'll just I'll go ahead and accept your friend request. It's just under Cliff London, not Cliff London Uncensored. You'll see me and my wife in there and everything. You can get updated on the personal stuff. But anyways, so there's a video if you on that thing on Facebook called I guess it's a bunch of Inglewood, and Inglewood's has the rep of being a very tough neighborhood. Basically, a lot of the pro-blacks out there, these people would be their archetype. Like this is what being black is to everyone that tries to pull a card. These are the type of people, and nothing against them. I don't know them. I'm just saying that if you were going to visualize it, and if you were going to try to make it, when people says being black, these guys in Inglewood is probably what they mean. Okay. They stopped Black Lives Matter from coming in their neighborhood, and it was the most beautiful shit that I have seen this year. It's amazing. I hope you guys remember. It's under Doo-Wop Robinson, DOWOP Robinson, as in Danger Will Robinson. That spelled just like that. Look it up. It's a beautiful thing. They, and it was, they were talking shit to him, saying, hey, they were saying, we don't see you, we don't see you motherfuckers until something happens with the police, but you haven't been protesting or doing shit about these babies that are getting killed every day, these little kids that are getting killed every day. And they were making fun of them. Some other guys were over going, yeah, and they got these white boys over here. It was hilarious. And they just were standing there stunted. And there's another one where this chick on the beach just schools this dude, just basically telling him, hey, I don't need you to speak for me with these riots and shit. It's great. Other black folk are starting to finally wake up, and other folk in general starting to go, whoa, 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 enough is enough. And I'll say it again. People keep saying, the response to the George Floyd. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and I really don't care about the backlash. Man, fuck George Floyd. Fuck him. Because you know what? Number one, it doesn't matter how you treat someone when they're gone. It matters how you treat them when they're here. And when he was here, apparently he was a piece of shit. Now, I'm sure the man had family and stuff that loved him, but so do all these people that you don't say their names. These kids that are killed. No one says their names. Instead, we say the names of people like fucking George Floyd. Did he deserve what he got? Of course not. Of course he didn't. And who am I to say if he did or didn't? I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, in comparison, first of all, I hate the fact that I even have to talking about this shit, so I'm going to stop talking about George Floyd right now. Fuck him in comparison. But one name I do want to say is a little beautiful boy named Cannon Hannett. His life was snuffed out at the age of 5 by some thugged out piece of shit. And I think he's still alive. Now, if this person gets killed, it's just justice. I mean, myself, I'm not high on religion, so I'm not anti for sure. But I'm going to say, I hope that motherfucker gets what he deserves, because a kid doesn't know shit about shit. And he, and that light was snuffed out so soon for this thugged out piece of shit. And if there's anybody that want to make any kind of excuse for this dude, you can fucking shove it up your ass. There is no excuse for this man. I don't even want to say the man's name. But whose name I do want to say. Cannon. So yes, like Cannon Hannett. Rest in peace, little man. And I apologize, and I'm sorry that you had to lose your life before it started to some thugged out piece of shit. You didn't deserve it. Anyway, everybody, this is Cliff London Uncensored. I'm going to go enjoy my Friday. Remember, if you like the video, please rate, comment, share, subscribe, or at least like the video so that it can help the channel grow. This is Cliff London Uncensored. Just remember, we are all part of the same compost heap. We are all part of the same singing, all dancing crap of the world. You are not your bank account. You are not your fucking khakis. Have a good day, everybody.